Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take no.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
What are these? Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Rabbit.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 57 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
To throw is Cousins. It's hauled in by Dodson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They will be led out by their veteran quarterback now in his 16th season from NC State, Phillip Rivers.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That one covers 29 yards, first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Hey, it's like 390, not 180. 154. Oh, you got deep? You got tight. You got tight.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
54. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
Rivers now. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Rivers, and Robinson with a big catch. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The extra point up and good. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we are tied at 7. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously, the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
He's coming. Hey, Steamer.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton Dix with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They begin with a run by Davis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action now. Rivers. He sets to fire deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
John.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Davis trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
That's it, baby.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Third and short yardage. Cousins looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own.
And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Rivers on the money, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, where the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. He's got his man. This is Dodson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10. Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. So we've come upon halftime here in week. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. at the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them putting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. It's complete to Robinson. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's taken down inside the 30. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Block the team!
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Ready, 380. Check right 54, right 54. I'm coming up.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
180.
Shamar Stephen there on the tackle. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it despite all the extra contact and people around him.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Lean up, 48.
Cousins. Ducks him with a grab over the middle. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
It's complete to Diggs. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Cousins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Bears take over. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's got Burton here. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Again, it's Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A 1st down carry for Davis. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Davis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd down, Davis. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3rd and long for Rivers. And he's got Miller. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as the Bears push further out in front.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post grab?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point up and through, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games. But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're... No, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the play. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Throwing, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Let's go. We got this. We got this. Switch. Line out. We're going. We got the horse.
Now Cousins on 4th down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Rivers now. That's caught by Montgomery. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 16 yards is the pickup there on a 1st down for Chicago.
Hey, bro, 80. Ready?
They'll run on 1st down. It's Montgomery. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good. But when now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or move the...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Doxson, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bears, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7.